So in the last part of our lecture 6, we discussed about our inventory in a bit detail after I show you kind of a fundamental design of a supply chain. So right now, let's continue with our discussion on inventory decisions, inventory management. So first of all, I want to introduce to you the pull strategy. So what is a pull strategy? So pull strategy is when you produce your products and you're actually applying the make-to-stock system. Make-to-stock system basically means you are make to stock. Your goal is to stock excessive inventory in your company. So pull strategy, when in a more theoretical term, it is basically mean you're pushing your product to the customers. So you're holding a lot of products and you're pushing them to the customers. It is you that you controlling on how much inventory should you hold rather than the customers. So your holding of inventory will not be highly based on the customer's orders, how much products have they ordered in the past month. You are holding too much. You're holding excessive inventory. So because you believe in that there will be high demands coming in the future, then you'll be able to fulfill this demand. You're going to be able to sell all these inventories to make money and convert them back to cash. So this is first, the physical products flow downstream, kind of a pull strategy. And second strategy, it is a pull strategy. The pull strategy is in the opposite. It means made to order system. So the pull strategy is made to stock. So your company as manager, you stock for the customers. Well, in the deployment strategy, we can see the customers are stocking for the business. Because how much inventories are you going to hold will be dependent on how much orders are the customers ordering. So it is also called just-in-time inventory. In business studies, you will know that as a JIT, because that's basically the process of how much orders are you receiving. It's how much products I'm going to produce. Maybe a little bit more. Like if I receive 20 orders for a day, I might produce 25. But it is really a make-to-stock system, also a make-to-order system. You're actually keeping your inventory fairly low, much lower, because in the pull strategy, you are having excessive inventory. And here you are more having like an exact inventory based on how much you need. So it is more exact depending on the customer's orders and the market demand. Sometimes there can be zero inventory, but then it's going a bit too extreme, right? Because when there's zero inventory, basically, of course, you save a lot of cost. If you are actually not popular in the market, no one wants to buy from you, then zero inventory is better than holding 100 inventories while you cannot get them to be sold and convert them back to cash, right? But however, there's also a problem. How if there's a sudden new order for your company when you have zero order, you're basically missing your chance to make profit, missing your chance to make revenue. So both push and pull strategy, I would say pull strategies are more employed, especially by those emerging businesses, those relatively new startups in the market. But however, pull strategy, if they go too extreme, if they don't compromise, they're not going to work out. Because if you only can sell 100 products in a month but you're holding 1,000, what's the point? And even in the pull strategy, even though you want to save some cost, but if you're holding zero inventory or holding like 5 to 10, when there's sudden orders, you're not going to fulfill the demand. You're not even going to maintain a good supply chain system. So if you go too extreme on the pull strategy, I don't think it's going to work out anyhow. That's why I'm now introducing to you the intelligence inventory system. Although it is called the intelligence system, it is not easy as well. But I want you guys to understand the method first. So when you start your business or when you're managing the business, you can consider what you learned before on the contingent inventory system, so you know how to kind of apply this into your business. So intelligent inventory system is basically combining the advantages of a push and pull strategies. I would say combining the push and pull systems, and it is to determine the causes of deviation. So to determine the causes of deviation, it's basically random versus systematic. So sometimes systematically, which is make-to-order system, they tell you that you had X number of orders from last month, X numbers of orders through last year. You're going to apply this somehow into your inventory holding. But sometimes there also should be random variable taking place. Because even if you base on the past, your product demand may be different in this year, maybe different to next year. Although it really depends on you, because if you are the manager, you can observe your business best. No one can help to give advices directly that can be accurate to you. But definitely in this case, you should combine some sort of random and systematic order. Even if you are not sure your products can gain 10 more sales in this month, I would say you should stock 10 more products in your inventory in case there's a fluctuation of a consumer's demand, so you are able to fulfill the demand. It is a compromise of random and systematic inventory holding information and forecast. So systematic based on your orders from the past, based on your orders based on your experiences. Random is more of your own forecast, maybe based on the whole market as a whole, based on the economy. Your product may not be so successful in the past, but this year people's income have been rising, or maybe some of your competitors have been failing. Some of your competitors are out of the market because they may have against it some sort of regulations, so you are competing with less people. And there's more of this elasticity demand effect, so you're going to be able to sell more of your inventories. So this prediction are to be done through kind of although it can be logical, prediction is more random. Because systematic is really based on a system. For example, you may have a predictive system, you may have a prescriptive system and analytics in your company, and you will use that to determine based on your past results. So they are analyzing your past numbers. But the random ones, basically, although it's not guessing, it is basically not so related to your company as a systematic attempt to forecast your inventory, because that's more about you analyze the economic system as a whole, you analyze the market you are in, you analyze the location, you analyze people's income, and then you make a more accurate compromise between random and systematic variables and random and systematic data to decide how much inventory should you hold in your company. So that is about that basically, right? And moreover, regarding inventory is not as part of a normal operations. This is really important. Many businesses fail because they are overholding their inventories. Although I'm not telling you not to produce more inventories, but definitely many businesses hold too much. Because I mentioned just now the primary purpose of holding inventories is to buffer against uncertainty. And that is highly costly if there's too high uncertainty in the market. So it is really important not to regard inventory as the normal operations. Manufacturing is part of your operation. But holding too much inventory, that means holding some products that are not sold directly but stay in your warehouses, that is not a normal operation. If you produce every day, it's kind of a waste. You may die out very soon. Keep this in mind because it's based on many businesses in the market. Many businesses fail in a few weeks just because they're holding too much inventory. They want to create their product so they can see their product, they believe they can be sold and make money more. But sometimes even if you don't sell as much of products, it is better than wasting your products if your business is not successful. Because guys, you all understand, ladies and gentlemen, you all understand that markets are fluctuating and markets are risky. Private enterprises are not easy to make money, especially if they're new. If you're a CEO or manager of a new startup, don't hold too much inventory so you can ensure you have more cash flow in hand, so you can make better informed decisions to survive, to save your company longer, to do more expansions. So that's why don't consider inventory as part of a normal operation. Okay, and I mentioned before, holding a less inventory helps you to better solve problem, and it is better for innovations and better for increasing the flexibility. Because when you decrease the amount of inventory, it's more possible for you to use the cash on your hand, while the cash are not converted to the inventories themselves. You can use the cash on your hand to manufacture the products, to buy the products. So that's another thing. Okay, to manufacture new products, to develop new products. And now let's move on to your logistics. For inventory, we'll still discuss in more detail in the next lecture, lecture 7. Is it lecture 7? Yeah, I think it's lecture 7. We'll discuss more of that in lecture 7. Yeah, okay, so we'll have 8 lectures in total, because I want to clear points. So first of all, when I started this course, I planned to have 10 lectures, but actually we have 8 lectures plus the introductory, which is the philosophical moral foundation video. We have 9 lectures in total. But after this video, after this whole course, which is Supply Chain Management 101, focusing on the managerial and strategic point of view, I'm actually beginning a new course called Supply Chain Management Analytics. This is more on the technical applications of an analytics in supply chain management, Whether you're a technical person or not, this course is really important, really beneficial for you to understand some important methods to be applied. This is also important for manager because you may employ some intelligent technical technicians to help you with some analysis, but you have to understand the method. And you have to understand how to apply these methods, how to implement these methods, how to apply these methods into designing a more effective and highly responsive supply chain. So we'll be able to talk in that course later. There will be a much shorter course compared to this, but it'll be more, I would say, it can be more informative, I would say. So be sure after this course on Supply Chain Management 101, which the full name is Supply Chain Management 101, a strategic and managerial point of view. You can also check out my second course that is Supply Chain Analytics. I'm still producing this course. And in Mandarin, if you're a Mandarin speaker watching this course right now, I may do this course in Chinese, the Supply Chain 101, Mandarin 101. And I'm also starting a new course called Marxism Economics. Sorry for this part. Because this is a part of business, but I'm also studying a course on political economics. There's a combination of politics and economics, and there will be the course called Marxism Economics. So this is an economic principle course, which is teach you the more technical, I would say, the more theoretical principles of Marxism economics. Karl Marx, the founder of communism, and I will discuss that Marxism economics in my new course. So if you're a Chinese speaker, please be sure to check out this course because I'm actually offering this course in Mandarin because that's where I think there'll be most demand on this course because mainly Mandarin speakers check out Marxism, and I don't think other English speakers wanna check Marxism from my channel because it might be seeing Marxism in or other channels as well. So I want to provide a Mandarin version which is not really common on YouTube, so a Chinese fellow audiences can watch. So sorry for this part. Okay, be sure to check out my other courses, and now let's move on to logistics. So in logistic decision making, we have to take account of transportation and logistic options. Why is this important? Because it is really important because transportation and logistics basically determine the cost and efficiency of your business. It can be fast, it can be slow. Definitely when you're producing the faster way, you can gain more customers, I would say, can get more sales. But fast definitely then equals to expensive. And slow may equal to cheap. But if you're producing too slow, you're not getting sales. You're losing your competition. You don't have efficiency. Where do you get the money if you just no efficiency, right? So linked with inventory decisions, unit value versus speed is a bit, I would say, a bit contradictory in this point of view. Okay, so logistics is really important as well. You have to compromise between fast, expensive, and slow, cheap. You have to ensure efficiency while you should not use the most expensive option because you might not cover the cost if you choose the most fastest route. And even the fastest route may not be the most effective one to get your sales. So I would say you try to find out the best compromising way in your company for you. Okay, so now let's talk about coordination. So in the next series of videos I mentioned just now, which I'll do supply chain analytics, I'll talk more in detail about inventory on logistics and inventory. So be sure to check out that in our next lecture. So actually the time we meet is pretty short. This is our 6th lecture already. In the next lecture, which is our 7th lecture, I'll discuss some inventory related issues, and they are basically they're quite important. So next lecture is really important. It can be a quite hard lecture. The content can be quite hard, but definitely really effective, and it really motivates and inspires your thinking. And the next lecture, which is our last lecture, will discuss global supply chain management, and we'll discuss also sustainability in supply chain management, which will focus on the economic, social, and environmental sustainability. And then we actually finish this course. Because lecture 10, which I planned, is a week which I will do a quiz for you guys. So in the last lecture, I'll actually, it'll not be a lecture, but we'll still have video 10. After our normal lecture 9, which is our normal speaking lecture like this, lecture 10 we'll have a little bit of speaking, but will not teach any new content. I will not be teaching new content, but I will do a quiz. I will do a quiz composed, I would say about 30 to 40 questions, and I will be explaining. I will give time for you guys to do in first video, In the second video, I'll be showing you the answer. So the first video, I'll actually time you guys. I'll actually set the time so you don't have to pause the video. You should just do it as when I will scroll for you so I can manage the time better. But definitely you can look back at any time. And in the last video, which is our 11th video, I'll basically share your answer. So I hope it's clear, it's straightforward. So we have 9 lectures, and two of the last videos will be based on the quiz. So I'll give you a quiz, and the last video I'll show you the answer of the quiz, and I will be explaining every question, so you will be able to understand why you got the question wrong, and so you can get a better comment. But if you have any more questions, please feel free to comment below. I'll look at the comment every day. Okay. So coordination is really important. Coordination is basically when you compromise between different elements inside your business. So coordination among channel participants is a prerequisite for system optimal performance. So for example, right here, we have intra-firm coordination and inter-firm coordination. Let me do some tests right here. Okay. So in this case, first of all, intra-firm coordination is basically when you coordinate within your company. So when you coordinate within your company, is intra-firm coordination. It's definitely really important because each company has multiple departments, and departments have to coordinate effectively in order to generate value for the company, in order to work efficiently, effectively, in order to work motivated, in order to know what to do, in order to solve all confusion. But coordination can be hard, and a lot of costs can incur from coordination. When you perform things badly, there's higher cost or coordination cost. When you have a bad coordination, you are making decisions the slow way, you may be making worse, you can make wrong decisions. So definitely intra-firm coordination is actually a pretty hard thing to do. So for example, now I want to give you guys an example in this box here. So if you have intra-firm and intra-firm coordination, we actually have intra-firm and intra-function coordination. Okay. So first of all, intra-firm and intra-function coordination. For example, so intra-function is basically about your department because each department manages different functions. So for example, intra-firm, I would say, for example, marketing department and marketing department. So when the marketing department of your company discusses with someone in the marketing department in your company, again, maybe from different groups, because sometimes you work separate groups and handling different tasks. That is an example of an intra-firm and intra-function coordination. Moving on, what is intra-firm and inter-coordination? It is really easy. For example, let's use a marketing again. So for example, marketing department of a company 1 and marketing department company 2. So basically, this is, for example, the marketing department of company 1 coordinates with the marketing department of company 2 to find out maybe they're collaborating on a project, maybe they're having some deal together to help each other. So that is a possible way. Moreover, inter-function and intra-firm coordination. For example, marketing department of company 1 and operations management department of company 1. So this is basically within the same company. And lastly, inter-firm, inter-function can be marketing department in company 1 and operations management department in company 2. So that is an example for the second. Okay, so this is the main idea I want to give you guys. So it is definitely really important to identify how well you coordinate and what are the participants in your required coordination. Okay, so moving on to our coordination. Okay, let's take a rest first. So I'll continue this part in our part 3. So in this video, I firstly went through the pull and pull strategies. Then I discussed a little bit about logistics, and I went through about intra-function and inter-function. I will try to keep this video short, so we'll start discuss more deeper in coordination in part 3 of our video. Okay guys, if you have any questions, please comment below, and I'll see you in the next video.